Alright folks, so this is part 2, unless I edit these together. Now, we changed the core multipliers in the BIOS, something that like I've said, can usually do here. We've got them at 50x. We have not messed with the voltage or the V core, which we'd be able to do up here. But I'm going to run the benchmark. I want to see what temperatures we get up to. 51 multiplier with the CPU cooler is probably not the way to go, folks. Oh, we still got power limit throttling, so we've got to fix that. Now, I don't know whether an i7-10700K really is ideal for this motherboard. There's not a whole lot of 10th gen overclockable CPUs available. This is a good motherboard, though, for any of the regular locked processors because you can run the RAM speeds up higher if you get one that's compatible. So max processor frequency, we did not achieve 5 gigahertz, probably because of the power limit throttling. And after the fact, in case you miss it, you just run your mouse over here and you see a yes there, okay? We did not thermal throttle. At least this thing did not know that we did. So the package temperature says 80 degrees Celsius, and of course this is specifically the CPU temperature here, 75 Celsius. So got a little warm, not too bad. I definitely like when I can adjust things in here. It would be ideal to run a stress test in here as well. I'm only going to do 2 minutes, just an example. Later you would fully run this. So we still hit power limit throttles, and it says the CPU power throttled. So I don't think it's going to say passed, but it may not say failed either, so we'll see. Power limit throttling again. So I gotta say, this this little motherboard, these things are so cute. I actually love the fact that this guy has this much power and such a little package. Like we got two M.2s on it. We can obviously hook up a heck of a graphics card to it if we wanted to. RAM wise, even though it's got 16 gigs, you could go 232 sticks if you needed to. And when I get the other Noctua cooler, which is a an upright tower like this, single tower, I believe it will be better for this kind of activity. I don't think that my massive dual tower Noctuas would fit on this thing, which would be kind of funny because the CPU tower itself would probably be bigger than this this motherboard is from width and length of it, as well as height. Alright, so you see how many times it power throttled? That was a lot. What does it say at the end? Hey, it passed, according to that. Alright, let's get out of this and go back to the BIOS. And I'm going to start hitting the delete key. I know it's a little early, but you don't want to miss it. Usually, actually, when you see that in the lower right corner there, when it says that. But, okay. So we're back in here. Still recording. This Lenovo video capture card I'm using, it has either it or OBS has a tendency to time out on you and just screw up these videos. CPU configuration. So we're still doing the 50 multiplier. Now, is this helping my Fortnite playing? No, it's not going to help Fortnite. Okay, I'll tell you that much right now. So what I want to find is, where is the power limits at, folks? And the terminology in the BIOS is different than what you would look for inside of Intel's Extreme Tuning Utility. I don't think it's in here. No. Interesting, folks. We may not be able to change it. Let's see if it's under advanced. I don't see anything in here. It's not going to be under this. I'm just going to go through every one of these, just in case. Yeah. So it should have been under CPU configuration or OC tweaker. It's not here. Am I missing it? Are you out there, folks, watching me go, God, this guy's blind? I did not see it. Usually, you know, in this, I believe it's right after this on the other motherboards. So maybe due to the VRM thing, there is no ability to change the power limits, which means, you know, doing a overclock on this thing is relatively futile if it's going to power limit throttle all the time. So that's what I get there. This is really not working out, folks. CPU V core voltage. So, interesting. I was thinking it would be actually lower than that, considering I didn't change it. All right, well, that's going to do it, folks. We cannot adjust power limits. We, if you're out there and you're watching this and you're like, you see that I missed something, please leave me a note. That way I can come back and do this for my other channel. This is kind of the channel where all the failed videos end up at. Not good enough for prime time. So this is really weird. But heck, while I'm in here, I might as well show you that I couldn't get my RAM. There we go. Could not get my RAM to run at 3000 megahertz. Some motherboards, this RAM will run up to, let's go with that one. Some motherboards, this RAM will run up to 3600 megahertz with no problem. So it almost makes you want to try a different setting than 3000. Alright, so I think we've once again lost our video recorder. What a surprise. Nope. It's going back up. And we are in. So let's pull this back up. Alright, so it let us do 3,000. I might as well do 3,600 next, huh? Let's check our performance. 3 grand. Okay. Still under 5,000. Now, honestly, if I want to play Fortnite good, I'm going to have to change some settings in here. I've just what's the word? Neutered this thing, we'll say, with the setup I currently have. Now, I'm not going to be able to get rid of power limit throttling here. So, and this guy here is also going to be a problem. And without a good CPU cooler, thermal throttling can come into play. Alright. So, shall I, let's go ahead and bump up that, if we can get it to come up. Let's go ahead and bump up our first 2 cores. Now there is a, process here, obviously. You should adjust these things. Oops, I missed it. Adjust these things, do the stress tests, and not necessarily the way I'm doing this. I've messed around with enough of these, and I don't want to say I'm not as concerned about the hardware as some of you might be. This is your only CPU. You want to be a little more careful with it. I've got quite a few of them, so I might take a few shortcuts that maybe I shouldn't. Alright, so we're going to change the multipliers again. I want this one to be 51 and this one to be 51. I don't want it to affect my gaming. And then I'm going to save this, and then I think let's see. Yeah, we're gonna bump up the RAM a little bit. I think we can get 3,600 out of it. Oops. If not, we'll know shortly. So, the fact it's not coming back up is a good sign that it's, that took a long time. So, we're not going to be able to run this at 3,600 megahertz. Let's try some other speeds. Okay, that's still there. That stayed. Let's drop back down. Let's try 3,200 megahertz. Let's just make sure nothing else changed here. I don't know why I keep doing that. And that took a while longer than it should have too. I'm not sure it's going to work. Oh, it worked. So, interesting enough, when you get to this screen, and you'll find sometimes that you can't log in. Right when that happens, you know that there's an issue with your RAM. So you'll have to back down. So there we are, 3,200. Could try, higher speed, but now let's go ahead and try out some Fortnite, folks. See what happens. And I'm actually really curious what Fortnite will say for core frequency. Will it say 5 gigahertz, or will it say, you know, will it not actually push that high? Now, the other good thing about this is I'll be able to monitor the CPU temperature. Okay, so this thing might have logged us out. Oh, there we go. Just takes a little while. Slow internet here at the hotel, folks, which may affect my FPS a little bit. V-Bucks. I'm still waiting to get decent V-Bucks to buy something good. It's amazing. What I'm on, like level 40 or whatever. I only got like 800. I haven't spent a single one of them yet. And I don't even know what I want to get for an outfit. I want to get something cool though. Actually, why did it disappear? So I don't know if I have 2 logins. No, it's the same one. Alright, so let's do, let's see. I have done, hey, there it is, ray tracing. Oh, we don't have a graphics card, folks. Crap, no graphics card. So, let's bump this down. Should we do 720p? Let's do this setting, 900p. Now we may lose the capture card. Nope, we haven't lost yet. Let's see. So if we do lose the capture card, I'll just sign off. If not, otherwise we're gaming. I would expect a very low FPS, like 25 to 30. Which for some of you, this may be playable. Makes me wish I would have put the 4133 megahertz RAM in it. Just because the white line on the map shows the most direct route away from the storm. What? I don't remember. I've never seen that before or paid attention to it. Woohoo! 900p actually doesn't look that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put Msi Afterburner on. Now, there we go. So you guys can see it. Back in. And voila. So wow, we are just shy of 5,000 megahertz, 5 gigahertz, which is cool. Cool. Where are those? There's one right there. So I'm gonna go after the space guys. Get some weapons and then go into, get myself into Stark's new place. It's neat how they just basically overlaid that whole thing. Wow, so you see the issues. You won't see that with an Intel graphics card, folks. I'll tell you that much right now. And it does appear that they have turned on ray tracing, which is cool. If you're using a RTX graphics card, which we happen to have one. I'm amazed, like, making all these videos that I've only bought one. That's going to change, though, hopefully, folks. We are getting closer to the second one. Where's our FPS? So FPS is actually higher than I was thinking it was going to be. Is it gameable? That's another story. Wow, that's cool. It actually went all the way out. Well, okay, maybe not all the way out. So 50 rounds is probably not going to be enough. And I barely even see these guys from here. So we will hopefully hit these guys where it hurts. Ooh. Barely even hit me at this point. Uh-oh. Oh, they got me. So not much of an FPS average, folks. 35. And that was a really poor game. Really poor. But you saw the CPU frequency just under 5. So potentially we could be over 5. And I haven't checked out my career lately. Let's see how we're doing. I know you guys weren't impressed there, but what do we got? 11 first placers, 276 top 10s. I've come a long way. Like the first couple hundred of these games, I was terrible. And not that I'm any better really, but we've definitely come a long way. So I wish this broke this down into how many second places, because I have like 5 times the amount of second places I do first place. All right, that's going to do it for this video, folks. Thanks for checking it out. Please like, please subscribe.